final score from Scotiabank Arena, it's the Wizards 118, the Raptors 117. Monumental Sports Network provides you all the best content surrounding the Wizards, Caps, Mystics, Beltway football, and more. Many thanks to Drew, Megan, and our entire Monumental Sports Network family. I'm Chris Miller. Wes Hall is standing by with the crossover.
Hey, WizKids. We got ourselves where's my win graphic?
There's another one.
It took a little time, but the last
got another one.
Woo! I'm liking that. I'm excited. That's how we want to get this weekend put together. So guess what? Coming up on Postgame Live, Coach Pat Sos and Tony and I, they're going to jump in the film room. We're also going to take a look at behind the scenes for the Wizards presentation and get you ready for a game in 48 hours against the same team. And with the ending of this game, oh, you know it's going to get real spicy in Toronto on Monday.
Going to be some smoke in the city.
Postgame Live back here in a moment on Monumental Sports Network. Let's go. All right, in Toronto, game coming down to this final shot from the Raptors, back of the rim. Now, in real time, that put Toronto up 119 to 118. Of course, you can see the Raptors behind Sheed celebrating. Big bucket for him, including the fact that that was redemption from the previous play, which was a side out that fortunately Toronto had a timeout. But upon further review, defense from Marcus Smart and Alex Sarr, and it's just by the whiskers, a fingernail to be exact. Final play called no good for the Raptors. Wizards hold on to win. Final score 118 to 117, and you can see the jubilation running through this young Wizards squad. A great big win to kick off a really long road trip. Welcome to Wizards Postgame Live. They gave me my graphics, so shout out to the crew. We appreciate you here at Monumental Sports Network. Wes Hall, happy as I can be with Coach Pat Sos and Tony Massenberg. A lot to break down. Gentlemen, first of all, Bub, 100 career three-pointers made. Shout out to you. Jordan Poole, welcome back into action. Those are the housekeeping ones. Let's start with your thoughts, Tony and Coach.
I'm going to give you a title to a movie, Wes.
I'm ready.
Remember, this game for the Wizards, to me, was the title of a movie. You know what that movie is?
Lay it on me.
True Grit.
Ooh, I like True Grit.
Remember that? True Grit. I thought the Wizards
remix
showed a lot of moxie, a lot of fight, especially in that second half, understood the task that they were faced with in the second half, meaning knowing they had to defend a lot better than they did in the first half.
You got to win on the first game of the road trip.
Come on.
We're rolling.
Yeah, we needed that.
Practice
That's all I'm
tomorrow.
saying.
See you on Monday. We're beating them again. And you know what? Koulibaly's dunk was awfully nice. That kind of made that was like we're here.
I needed that. I'm not gonna lie. I was running around the studio when that play happened. I'm glad that they did not decide to roll that footage back. But what I do want to take another look at is Jordan Poole's performance. 7 made threes for Jordan Poole.
That steal was big.
Huge. Jordan first game back after missing a couple. 34 points, Tony.
Hey, listen, he's been a leader with this team all year long. We know that we can count on him to score points, but it's in moments like this when he doesn't get rattled, when he understands his team needs him to score buckets in bunches, and he delivered tonight. And he doesn't just do it with his offense, he also does it by way of getting other people involved.
Yep.
His assist has been good all year long. I look at the way he defends. We just talked about the steal and the energy that he plays with. And all of these things, fellas, are contagious, especially when you have a young team that's looking and wanting to learn how to close out.
He plays the game happy. And it's all right to play the game happy even when you're making a lot of money. We've been in the back talking about all kinds of teams and players and generational things. All the good ones liked playing. He likes playing.
You know what? That gives me another song since you went to Pharrell Williams.
Give
Happy.
me one.
You know,
Happy. There you go.
Well, you know what? I'm happy to announce this. Guess who's standing by with Megan McPeak right now? Jordan Poole.
Very wild finish to this ball game. First game of a 7-game road trip. Talk about the mental fortitude it took in this one because it was a battle punch for punch down the stretch.
Huge team win, very solid on both ends. We were moving the ball well. We're on the road, so we try to, we got to be composed. We got to stay together, especially in a really good environment like this. We hung in there. We knew it would be a dogfight coming to the end. We made some substitutions, and we just found a way to close it in a really, really tough one.
I know you're very familiar with this arena. especially with the Warriors in 2019. You are used to hitting big shots in this arena, and you went down the stretch and activated the pool party and closed this thing out from an offensive standpoint. Just talk about what it was like to feel that way, especially in your first game back.
Yeah, just being aggressive. I love playing in Toronto. Good environment, good crowd. We just found ways to close the game. Got hot going at the end. Just try to trade for some of my teammates, try to get us some good looks, be aggressive. I was able to read things and see the game a little bit differently with this team when I was out. I just came back, tried to give us a boost, and everybody stepped up, like I said, and we were able to get a big win.
Enjoy this one. We'll see you on Monday.
You know what? That kind of swagger deserves our Clark Construction Hard Hat Player of the Game designation. Mr. Poole, 34 points. We appreciate that. 12 for 20 from the field. That's only 8 missed shots. 7 for 12 from deep. Gave you 5 dimes, 2 boards, and to your point earlier, Tony, 4 steals and blocks combined. Remember, he's missed the last 3 games to the right elbow. Our Clark Construction Hard Hat Player of the Game. Give me your analysis on the smile that you see on that man's face, because Coach Patso said he's playing happy.
He said it. Happy, joyful, like in basketball, like pure happiness.
Yeah.
And when you see guys play that way, that's when you're going to get the best out of that player. It's one thing to be in a situation where you're just trying to get through it, and it's another thing to be happy in that situation and be playing at your best, and then you bring others along for the ride. On a night where Jordan Poole has 34 points, he also leads the team in assists. Like, that says it all, and that's not the first time he's done that. So that's impressive to me. I know how hard it is to go out and put up these types numbers.
Come on.
Like, I've had a couple of 30-point games in my career, but that was for my career. I wasn't putting up 30-point games the way he's doing, and that takes a lot of energy, takes a lot of focus, and most of all, it takes real leadership in order to go out and understand what your job is and then do all the other things on the side, like the steals, like the assists, and like the rebounds.
The steal led to the 3. He's got the courage to take the 3. He takes the 3 at the end of the half, but we all talked about it. He practices those kind of trick shots. I know Curry taught him a lot of stuff, but he's teaching the young guys. Me and Wes are going to go ad nauseum. Sarr did not play well in the Summer League. Jordan Poole grabbed him and said, let's go to L.A., to UCLA in the Drew League, hang out, and Wes will tell you all about that stuff.
Yep.
There's a little culture out there.
Yep.
Let's go from a couple weeks and just play ball, hang out in Beverly Hills. Oh, they're playing every day at Pauley Pavilion.
Absolutely
and
they
he
are.
grabbed him, gets him to play there, and says, you're going to be fine, but come play. That's the kind of thing. Now he's doing it on the road trip. He was all happy to win on the road trip.
Yep.
Tony, everybody knows you win the first one on the road trip. The whole road trip can change.
Oh, yeah.
We were just wondering if they learned from their last 0-6 road trip. And now they want to know.
Coach, I got something else for you. Tony, since you want to drop songs and movies, I got another one for you.
Give me one.
Don't disturb this groove.
Oh,
here's why I say
took me all the way back.
Hey, but why do I bring it up? Because he's missed the last 3 games, and if I can't believe I could say this. The Wizards have won 3 out of the last 5.
3.
Now it's 4 out of the last 6. And Jordan comes back and doesn't disturb the groove of what you've seen from everybody else in his absence. That's what you want to see more of. Everybody pouring into this wonderful pot of gumbo.
So let me tell you what's going on with this gumbo right now, Wes, right? To make a good bowl of gumbo, what do you need? You need the right ingredients. But you need the right ingredients.
Yes, sir, you do.
Right? So in order to establish the culture for any NBA team or any team sport, you need to establish the culture.
Yeah.
The culture for the Wizards is being set right now. And that's why you're seeing the consistency. Jordan Poole understands what's expected of him, but more importantly, the other guys are starting to understand how to play the basketball game the right way.
Yeah.
And they've watched him do things that have been done the right way, to scoring points while still getting your teammates involved. That's playing the right way. Then defensively, putting forth your best effort, trying to make a difference on the defensive end, even though you're the most high-scoring guy on the team. That says everything about the culture that you want from guys that are leading your basketball team.
And he's playing the point. He's not really a point, but he's a scoring point. He saw Middleton post up. He'll post up to get the win. Smart did push the guy at the end to maybe hold it a sec.
Yeah.
Smart and Middleton. Poole's got a championship. My thing with Poole is just that guy hangs around the gym, and that's good for young guys. And Tony knows this. Some young guys think they made it. These guys have a lot to prove. He's shown George is improving because he's around Jordan Poole.
There you go.
In my opinion.
No, absolutely is. And everybody is. And here's to the point, when you talk about what embodies or what encapsulates the growth and development of everybody, I'm thinking about one guy on one play, and we ran it at halftime. We ran that hustle play, and it was Bilal Coulibaly getting on the floor.
Yeah.
That's
50-50 ball.
As part of that stuff we
Man,
talked about
10
with
rebounds
hustle
tonight.
and muscle.
There's a two-guard at 10 rebounds tonight.
Yeah.
Go ahead and break it down for me, Tony.
Could have the hard hat.
Go ahead.
He could have. Go ahead and talk
I'm
about
just
it.
saying, he's a two-guard. He had 10 rebounds. If a guard gets 10 rebounds, you know, he might get to wear the hard hat a little bit.
Hey, I'm going to give him any designation below once as long as he don't dunk on me. That's all I'm asking for is that he leaves me alone.
Well, I want him dunking on everybody else but me, and I
Right.
like seeing that. And again, this is the way you play the basketball game. Like, you're looking at this guy. Look at this defense right here. Look how he crowds it. Now he's in front. He's behind R.J. Barrett, and he jumps in front of him and dives for the ball because he makes that play. Corey Kispert is able to make that pass to Rashawn Holmes. This is about establishing the culture that you want your young players to follow and the blueprint that you're setting for how you want to play every single night. And it starts on the defensive end, Coach.
Yeah, and I mean, it wasn't just him. Poole got the hard hat. Poole had a poke three. Poole's sneaky defensively. He's never going to be the defensive player of the year. We know that's not what he does. But he timed that. He got the guy to throw the pass, then he stole it for three. Koulibaly's guarding the other team's best player. We know. Tony, tell us how hard that is.
Oh, that's extremely difficult. You know the type of energy that you have to put forth on the defensive end to
And
try
you
to
gotta do
stop the
homework
other
too,
team.
don't you, before?
Yeah, you got to do your homework. You got to know the scouting report. You got to know the guy's tendencies. Like there's mental preparation before a game when you're trying to guard the other team's best player, and then there's the physical aspect of it that you have to exert yourself a little bit more defensively to try to make a difference so that you can impede this person's path or at least make it difficult for them to do the things that they like to do.
You mentioned culture, building something. I can't believe I didn't say this off the top of the show. I'm sorry. Yes, the Wizards had 4 out of 5 starters in double figures, but we had not 1, not 2, but 3 players with double-doubles.
Yeah.
2 of them were the young bucks. You had Bilal and Sarr with a double-double. Rashawn Holmes gave you one off the bench.
Yep.
Coach, you talk about building culture. That's a box score stat I'll take any day.
Holmes has sort of been the surprise for me this year, Tony, because he was buried or he was hurt, and no one really talked about him. And Valanciunas, we miss him. He was good. And Bagley and these guys, you know. He's come out of nowhere and had a great month. I think the future's very bright for the Wizards because you at least have one center. Tony and I have talked about it. Someone's got to play center. He doesn't want to shoot threes. He kind of does what he's supposed to as a center, but he's been very good with he seems to fit in with him, Wes. But he kind of came out of nowhere, Tony. Like, in other words, all of a sudden he's here, partly due to the trades.
Yep.
You have been around this game longer than all of us, Tony. Sometimes a guy like him just needs a chance, or is he fitting in? Like, why has he been so successful lately?
Well, he does things that the team needs. And
Right.
anytime you are that guy, it works for you.
Here's this crazy thing about this, guys. You know we love history around these parts. Can you guess, venture a year, the last time we had 3 guys with points, rebound, double-double, 3 of them? I'll give you a hint. It's this side of 2020. Just give me a year. See what happens. Cook up. Throw a number out there.
I mean, I'm going to go 20.
21. Look at you, Tony Massenberg.
Did they have
April
to call it?
21st of 2021 against Golden State. Bradley Beal, Daniel Gafford, Russell Westbrook. Those are some
See,
names.
Westbrook's been
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about rosters. I was thinking about rosters.
He got a rebound every night.
Right.
I'm telling you, huge productivity. I'm super proud of the way that this team played. I'm telling you, that's one of those box scores you put up on the fridge at home. We're like, hey, y'all went to work today. So shout out to all the guys for their accomplishments tonight. Great
This guy in
conversation.
the high school games we did, Felix was there, Stevens is going to Marquette. Bullis won the tournament.
Yeah.
I said, he reminds me of Russell Westbrook. And
telling
he
you.
said, Coach, I heard you said Russell Westbrook. I said, remember, he does it every night.
Every night.
Every night.
Shout out to Russell Westbrook. Again, all the former Wizards. Shout out to the current Wizards as well. Great performance. We got to take a quick break. Coming up on the other side, we got more post-game live for you, including Coach at the post-game podium. But in the latest episode of Hometown with Rachel Nichols, Rachel catches up with Wizards rookies Alex Hart, Bub Carrington, and Keyshawn George. But in L.A. during their West Coast road trip, and they're to discuss their unique path to the NBA and a whole lot more. You can actually watch the premiere Monday at 5:30 p.m. ahead of our matchup against the Raptors. Welcome back to Postgame Live. It is time to look at the assist of the game, brought to you by ZK Sync, and you're going to love this because it embodies everything we talked about earlier in the game. On-ball defense, hustle play, getting on the floor, fighting for the ball, finding your teammate. Corey Kispert with the lob to who? Rashad Holmes. That is what we want to see out of a Washington Wizards basketball team. Well done, young guys. Of course, the first matchup in Toronto this year. We will be back in a couple of days to see him. Maybe we'll repeat the performance, but this is a great assist of the game brought to you by ZK Sync. Right now, head coach Brian Keefe at the post-game podium.
Oh, if you've done this long enough, you've seen a lot of stuff over the years. I've been involved in a few of those over the years, for sure.
What was your reaction when they overturned, or when the shot first went in and then?
Give him credit. I mean, it was a really tough shot. I mean, it was a outside the paint floater with two guys all over him. I mean, you give him credit. So I thought that was the game, and then obviously it got overturned. But hell of a play by that young man.
BK, what did you like defensively down the stretch from the team, especially with the way the first half went? They were getting on the offensive glass, and then things changed in that second half for you.
It really started, I think, in the second quarter. We were not rebounding in. We were fouling quite a bit. Made a big change in the second quarter. I think they only had 2 second chance points and maybe a couple free throws. And then we did a good job at the beginning of the third. Give them credit. They really crashed in the second half late. That's kind of how they kept themselves in the game. Our rebounding wasn't as good, but we weathered the storm in different parts of the game. So I was really proud of the guys, their resiliency and sticking with it when they didn't have a great defensive game to start.
In a game like this that goes back and forth down the stretch, especially with how many times they got to the free throw line in the first half, how important was it, 1? And 2, how proud are you of the guys for when it got in crunch time? They did their best to not foul the way they were in the first half.
I thought we did a good job of really showing our hands. That's how we kind of extend the lead in that start of the third quarter. Those were fouls in the first half. So like good adjustment by our guys, going vertical, showing our hands, and those turned into some easy baskets. Hey, our guys stuck with it. It was a heck of a game.
Conversely, you guys, if I'm not mistaken, tied or set a new season high with offensive rebounds yourself. What shifted with the way that you all started to crash the glass as well, too?
It was Bilal. Like, we got to give Bilal a ton of credit for what he brought to the game tonight. He was all over the place. His activity, his defense, his crashing, tipping balls out, diving on the floor. He made a huge play in that first quarter that kind of really rallied our team. Like, he dove on it. We got a lob to Rich. Like, that kind of galvanized the troops. And it just shows you the kind of impact that he can have on the game just by his activity level. It was really good. I was really proud of him tonight.
Alex tied his career high. Let's start with Jordan Poole, 34 points, first came back. What'd you think of him as a shot maker?
You thought he just played within the flow of the game. This is a good defensive team. They can pressure you, and he didn't force anything. He didn't have to. The ball was moving, and when it came to him, he shot it or he drove it. I thought he played a really efficient game. That came out obviously in the stats, but I liked how he just let the game come to him. And then obviously he had some big moments. He got us up 8 there. I think he had back-to-back shots there, that 3 in transition. And, good to have him back.
And what did you? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Bilal and Keyshawn against Barnes and Barrett. What did you see about those matchups and how they were able to limit those guys?
You don't limit them completely, but I thought they did as best they could, try to keep them off the free throw line. I think we adjusted after that, like I said, after the first quarter. But, those guys are downhill drivers, and it takes the whole guys. But I thought those guys did a good job on it.
What do you see from Alexa tonight, and what do you want him to improve for the rest of the season?
I thought he had, he started off not making some of his shots, but I didn't think that's stopped his energy level. I thought he had a really great start to the third quarter. Rim protection, rebounding, finishing. Just keep being consistent on the things that we're doing. He's growing before our eyes. I thought he really responded well with a really good third quarter after missing some shots that he normally makes. I liked his energy to start the third. Really good.
Can you, without giving away the tactical, but can you walk us through that final defensive possession where you make the change, you put Marcus in for Jordan, you have a very long, athletic defensive unit out there. I know they were able to at least try to get the shot off for what might have been the winner, but can you just walk us through?
Yeah, those are the guys we wanted on the court. Obviously, Marcus is one of the best, so I was joking with him we might have to find somebody else, but we want those guys out there, the length, the size, the ability to protect the rim. The kid made a hell of a play. Just got a little lucky there with that one, to be honest.
Did you have a favorite reaction or interaction with anyone after they overturned the call?
Not that I could even think about, to be honest. I don't know.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Coach Brian Keefe, after a good win for the Wizards on the road in Toronto. Again, we will be seeing this team in 48 hours, and I know there's going to be a little bit of spice in whatever they put on the table. I cannot wait. So I love sports, the thrill of competition. But one of the things he said that you got to give Bilal a lot of credit. He said Bilal was all over the place, and he said that hustle play with him being on the floor really galvanized this team. You've heard the old adage, work smarter, not harder. Well, after the All-Star break, I said, for this team, you work smarter and harder, and you have fun doing it. This is the result you get, guys.
Well, when you have guys who demand that you make those type of plays, like a Marcus Smart, that was a Marcus Smart type play. And when I look at Smart and Middleton, for that matter, and I think about the impact that they're having on these young guys, I kind of look at those two as like a fire and ice duo when you talk about Smart and Middleton. Middleton's a guy that's traditionally been a closer and is known for his offense. Smart is a guy who traditionally has been an enforcer and a defensive specialist. Yeah. And you can see those things that they brought to the game being implemented to these young players at a time when they really need it. Yeah. And so it's not to say that the other veterans that were here weren't good for them, but these guys here are really good for these guys and based off of what I've seen.
Look, those two guys came here. Winger and Dawkins did a great job getting them because everyone knows they're high. I've gone ad nauseum about Middleton because I knew him from Porter Guard, a great school. He played for Turgeon at Texas A&M. Yeah. He wasn't given much. Yeah. Smart was actually the lottery pick, although he played football at Flower Mound, right outside Dallas. Tough guy. We'll tell you my Tom Brady story later. I met him and he goes, "You're at Under Armour. Can I catch passes from Tom Brady?" I went, "Excuse me?" He said, "Yeah, I was a really good football player," and I believed him. Yeah. You meet him. But that's toughness with him. Right. Whereas Middleton's just figured it out as he's gone through life. Really smart, big guard. But Tony said it best. Middleton posted up to get the lead. Yeah. That was a big shot. He was like shake bake in the lane. He's tall. But both of them do bring different stuff. And not everybody can be a rah-rah guy. Someone's got to be a little smoother guy. And I just think it was a really good pickup between the two of them. Because you know what? They've been on really, really high-energy winning teams, and they weren't exactly the best players on their team, but they were pretty good. So does it make sense? Like no, they're going to help the young guys be like, "You're here, but you're going to pass us." We've been there. We've seen Giannis. We've seen Tatum.
Because you heard people say you don't know what you got until you're gone. Right. Like, no, with this team is you don't know what you got till you get it.
Till you get it.
You ever walked around and you finally get a cup of water and you take a sip, you're like, I didn't realize how thirsty I was. Right. Like, that's what you're getting out of this team. You didn't realize how bad it, but I love the fact that these guys are here. To your point,
look, the Rockets and the Pistons are the two teams that from last year made huge jumps. I think we can make that jump because of those guys. Yeah, the young guys, of course. But
But see, now you've got a guy like Alex Sarr who's benefiting. Tony, we talked about him. I gave you during pregame. I'm going to actually double back, spin the block one more time.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about the results of Alex Sarr's game when you get another double-double out of him.
Well, first of all, when you're playing the center position, you're going to have to rebound the basketball. And that's one of the areas that Jimmy and I both are looking at Sarr and we're like, okay, we love the fact that you're making threes, but you have to continue to be the guy that we drafted. Right. Shot blocker, rebounder, and a guy that's going to make a difference on the defensive end. While we are enamored with his athletic ability at 7 feet tall, and we like the fact that he can make threes, you have to continue to do the other things that centers are expected to do in this league. And that is rebound, defend at a high level, and provide rim protection. And so far, a game like this is where his attributes really stand out. The fact that he can score the basketball and the fact that he gets 14 rebounds tonight.
Tony's got it. Here's the thing. Tony had said the right thing. He's still a center. Sure, he can play 4. Sure, he can go big with other people. But when you play the 5, you're playing the 5, and that's how it goes. Hey, it's part of the deal. When you're the 5, man, you got to rebound.
The most impressive part was at the half. He had 4 points, but he had 8 boards already. And one of the things that I think this might benefit all of us is, it's cool to look at the point side of it. Yeah. But when you look at Alex Sarr's performance, you're going to look at the whole stat line. It ain't just the bucket thing. Yeah. Redirecting, shot blocking, steals, all of it, he does all of it. And so I'm appreciative of his performance. And again, I need him to rinse and repeat in 48 hours. Right now, we got to take a quick break. We got to pay the bills. But when we do come back on the other side, we got more for you. But I got to remind you, when it comes to HBCU hoops, it's back. Coming your way for the last time this season, though, Jackson State, Mississippi Valley State facing off in back-to-back matchups. Coverage actually starts at 10 a.m. on the women's game, followed by the men at 12:30 on Monumental 2. So make sure you're there. HBCU Hoops on Monumental Sports Network. Welcome back. Wizards Postgame Live presented by Robinhood. Tonight is a special night because tomorrow you get half off of your regular menu price pizzas at Papa John's because the Wizards have got above 115 points. All you got to use that promo code WIZ50, and there you go. Half off pizza courtesy of your Washington Wizards and Papa John's. Right now in the locker room, Marcus Smart, Megan McPeak.
Marcus, can you walk me through that final defensive possession? I know the game almost finished with a little bit of controversy, but just walk me through what you guys were seeing from a defensive unit.
They were dropping the ball all night. We knew they were going to try to get something going to the basket. Guy made a good play. I was counting the dribbles, with 2.3 seconds, just trying to, time it up, and he slipped, and it kind of threw my whole timing off. But also that slip helped us too because, it took more time off than he expected and than we expected, and it came to that end where he didn't even get the shot off by like a tenth of a second. So, but yeah, they were aggressive all night, and we knew they was coming down to hill and just keep a body in front of somebody.
When it comes to a game like this, I know it was back and forth down the stretch, and it took a lot of will defensively, especially with the way they crashed the glass. What type of pride did it take for you guys to have the second half that you did and try to keep them off the offensive glass as much as you did?
It was huge for us. These last couple games, teams have been abusing us on the offensive glass, and tonight was no different. Balls bouncing everywhere for us. Some unlucky ones, but for us to lock in like that, it was big. We talked with each other and decided, hey, we got to fix some things, and this is one of those things. And credit to Bilal, Alex, and those guys battling as much as they could, and then us guards getting in there and helping them.
Bilal in the first quarter, had that play where he dove after the ball with R.J. Barrett, came up with the steal, that lob to Rashawn. It was very much a play that you would have made. And it seems like the impact that you've had is starting to filter through the rest of the team. Knowing the defensive mindset that was necessary in a game like tonight, how do you see it in how your impact is continuing to grow?
Every day, it's with the small things. And, nothing happens overnight. They're still getting used to me. I'm still getting used to these guys. But, everybody's, holding each other accountable. We're asking each other for help, and we're listening. Nobody's judging. We're trying to get better. And these young guys, every day asking me constantly, how do I do this? Or if this was you, how would you guard this? Or how this? And, why do you play so hard? How do you keep going like that? And it showed tonight. With that play, I think we all seen it on the bench. Everybody's going crazy for him. And it's just an impactful moment for the team and for him individually.
What did you think of his dunk in the fourth quarter?
Oh man, that's beautiful. That's an athletic guy, and if I had his athleticism, I'd dunk everything as well.
Thanks, Marcus.
Thank you, guys.
So many positive nuggets to take from Marcus Smart talking to Megan McPeak right there. We really appreciate that. But I've got to pivot because even though the team is on the road back here in D.C., preparations are made for the next home game. And as we all know, there's no business like show business, and here in the Wizards, we take it seriously. Here's a little snippet from Beyond the Buzzer about the in-game presentation crew for your Washington Wizards.
Do the whole sequence this time. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, go 7, 8.
All right, everybody. We're going to use this time for the dancers to feel comfortable with that cadence. Nadia, Catherine, how is the cadence for you guys this time?
So we are right now at Capital One Arena. This is my lovely little station that I come up to. I call it the perch.
Taylor to Derek, are dancers ready?
Yes, we're ready for music.
Basically, I'm up here during the entire game, so I have a pretty good bird's eye view of everything. I have my monitor here to show me what I'm about to show onto the big screen. I have a DJ here. Everything is pretty much just like run from up in this area, and then I'm also on headset with everybody that's down in the control room.
Stand by for blow off in 3, 2, 1, go blow off.
Rehearsals are definitely key for everything when it comes to game presentation. I usually come out to the court and test everything that we're going to show on the show. We have a graphics check, staff graphic. We test audio,
Have some music playing now.
we have a video check, and then we go through absolutely everything. Just making sure that like all the animations are keyed to go when they're supposed to go.
All right, everybody, so we are gonna do it all. We're gonna start from our assistant coaches that read and go fully into intros. Yeah, cameras shouldn't shoot the back until I say go. I have one in the back of the tunnel and one at the front. So the back of the tunnel is just getting the jersey shot. It's kind of sick. Go, Britt.
Can I get some more energy?
Stand by 13.
Get it loud in here. It's time for your Wizards starting five.
Go, 13.
Present for God from Michigan.
Send him.
Number 13.
We are lucky enough to have a staff that is willing to pretend to be professional athletes for us. So on a game day, my team and I arrive pretty early. We have a production meeting at 5:30. We're printing scripts, we're printing our PAs. It is like a very thick document that we have to make sure we have a lot of copies of for everybody that is involved in the show itself.
So the first thing we'll kick off is our graphics rotation. Everything there is normal.
Everybody comes, so all of our camera operators, our hosts, our DJs, our PA, everybody in the control room, we all come and meet together and kind of run through the show again. And that's where if anybody has any questions, that's where those come about. Once we break from that, I run right back up here because then doors are opening and then we just get into our show right then and there.
Intro in 3, 2, 1, go.
There's a lot of preparation into the show, but honestly, like, this is the greatest job anybody could have.
It's your Wizards starting five time.
We come to the arena, we provide and put on a show for all of these fans, for the players. Like, it's just like a really fun time.
1, 2, 3, 2, go! Okay, Wizards fans, it's now time for a special live performance.
Every single game day is a live performance for us, and then it could be somebody's first game too. So no matter like what is going on, like we want to make sure to provide a really fun atmosphere for that fan and just make sure that they become a Wizards fan and come back to games and just continue to enjoy the games as a fan.
Just a sample of some of the things you can see on Beyond the Buzzer. I admit I'm a bit biased. I like the show a lot, hosted by a pretty cool dude. But in the next episode of Beyond the Buzzer, the Wizards' rising stars head to San Francisco for All-Star Weekend. And of course, alum Harvey Grant helps fuel the first responders and so much more. You can watch the premiere this Monday, 5 p.m., Monumental Sports Network, and of course, stream it anytime on the Monumental Plus app. Postgame Live back in a moment. Sharing is caring, and we live by that. How about we take a look in the film room with about assists?
It starts by driving the ball. You have to drive the ball. You're not just going to get easy assists against the NBA. You're going to make the defense work. It helps when Bilal Coulibaly is going to cut it down the lane, catches it, and dunks it. In other words, there's Keyshawn George improving his game, getting assists. Now, we're going to talk about veteran execution. See, Coulibaly, it's his second year. He knows to give it up, get it back on the handoff, goes hard, back to Keyshawn George. Keyshawn George gave it to him for the dunk. He gets it all the way to the paint and kicks it out. Now you got Kispert, the KG veteran. See, it ends up being almost a double screen because of the dribble handoff. See, Poole's cutting through. See, he gets in his way. That's like what they do in the end zone when they throw touchdown passes. Well, what does Corey Kispert do? Patiently come off, ready to go firing. And then he is smart. You know he's kind of a positionless player. He gets a dribble handoff, throws it to Rashawn Holmes when he sees two guys on him. When he sees two guys, he's just going to throw it to the rim. Tony knows how this works. The veterans are teaching the young guys. It's just be a little patient and execute. Tony, help us. They always tell you guys, when you go from college to the pros, slow down a little, read the defense a little.
They always tell you to, first of all, just slow down. Because when you're a rookie and you come into the league, guys are playing 100 miles an hour, and that's what and you get caught up in that, and it's like you get into this track meet, and like, that's not the way to play in the NBA game. That's not the way it works. So to have these two veterans to come in, one exceptional offensively in Middleton, closer, which is what he's traditionally been. One being a star defender in this league and a former defensive player of the year. It's a great balance, and it's just what this team needs.
When you talk about balance, you got one thing on this end, another thing over here. How about we look at something that's in the middle, and that's Corey Kispert, right?
Yep.
Off the bench, 12 points. Corey's a problem, and I mean that in a compliment.
He's 28.
He's everywhere he needs to be.
I kid him because he went to Gonzaga for 4 years and played for Mark
He did just have a birthday not too long ago. But the thing about it is the way that he plays the game. That's what I said. He's everything in between.
Consummate pro, good guy.
Yep.
Great guy.
Makes threes.
Yep.
Added to his game, driving. But you know what? He's just been a good fit here, Tony. I want to hear Tony's play on him.
Well, you hear me talk about Corey Kispert all the time. Me and Jimmy were having a conversation in the back, and what we came to, the conclusion that I came to, I said, I think no matter where you play Corey Kispert, he's going to find a way to be effective. He could be effective on any of the 30 teams in the NBA. Why? Because he has a skill set as a three-point shooter who also can take the ball to the basket, who can also defend exceptional, who will also rebound and will also do all the intangibles, the other things. He's not just a shooter. And because of that, he can play anywhere. So it doesn't surprise me on any night that he can come out and have a great night.
He's like the perfect universal charger. Like when you travel, you know what I'm saying, you need something that can go into a port here, maybe overseas in France, maybe one in you. No matter where you plug him in, he's compatible with everybody around.
He's a different type of Swiss Army knife.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, an efficient one.
Yeah, very efficient one.
Selfless in his game and extremely aggressive on the hustle side. Shout out to you, Corey Kispert. We appreciate all that you do. Appreciate the breakdown, guys. Got to take a quick break, but I do want to remind you about the next game coming up. And I think you might already know who we're playing. I don't know. I'm just saying. Oh, yeah, Toronto. Marcus Smart. Wizards staying in Toronto on the 6th for a rematch of tonight's game. That's going to be on Monday. Pre-game live coverage starts at 7 p.m., leading up to tip-off at 7:30 p.m., only on Monumental Sports Network and the Monumental Plus app. It is time now to take a look at the road ahead, brought to you by your Washington area Cadillac dealers. And as we mentioned before, we're staying in the 6th for a Monday night matchup against Toronto, then 2 in Detroit. Then we take a trip out west, take on the Nuggets, and then Portland. See our old friend, Mr. Denny Avdi, on March 17th. But let's focus on this road that is next, and that is Toronto game. Big priorities, how we run it back. But I really want to look at the ending of this game and see the implications of what it might have had next time. Because you see, Marcus Smart mentioned trying to defend on ball. Alex Sarr on ball as well. What we thought in real time was a good bucket from Shea. Everybody thought it was. But guess what? Upon further review, what do I spy with my private little eye? That the ball was still in his hands. Washington, upon further review, the difference in a fingernail. Great officiating crew. No basket. Wizards hold on. Final score 118-117. With that in mind, gentlemen, we know there are going to be emotions that hang over a little bit. How do we prepare for Toronto's reply?
Well, you take the second half of this game and then you apply it the entire 48 minutes of the next game. They understood that they needed to box out a little bit better, gave up a lot of offensive rebounds. They understood that they needed to defend a little bit better in that second half, and they made that adjustment. And then at the end, Chris Middleton, post-ups, makes a big-time shot at the end, so they rolled the closer in Chris Middleton at the end.
And the bench was ready to go. You know, look, the Raptors threw the first punch, but we responded, took the lead at halftime. We held on, we won the third and held on in the fourth. It's a road win, baby.
There you go.
You know who else won?
Speaking of wins, go for it.
Catholic U, my alumni, Sweet 16. Aaron Kelly, 100th win. Mike Lonigan won the national title there in 2002. Same mojo. Catholic U, Sweet 16. It's great for DC, us Division III guys that play below the rim, but with a lot of heart.
And since you're talking college, who else won today?
Your Maryland Terrapins.
Our Maryland Terrapins, baby. We ready. We coming. We coming.
You know what? I should end the show on a high like that, but I'm going to tell you something truthful. You know daylight saving time coming up. You have to set your clock ahead of an hour. You know we're going to lose some sleep, but it's okay.
Hey,
It's
Wes,
all right.
you know, Wes, wait.
It's all right.
Wes, we got the CAA over in the sports arena.
Yeah.
We got the Atlantic 10 coming here. A lot of college basketball. The women are rolling too. Get out there. It's March Madness, and then come back here in 2 weeks. Come to Wizards games.
For the last six. For the last six. We've been hot since the break. I'm just saying. You know what? I'm done. Y'all can go ahead and roll the show out. We done. This has been fun. You know what?
Too much fun. You know what?
Winning is fun.
Babe, winning is fun.
Listen.
You should have seen what's going on in the back.
Oh, you should have. You should have.
We got it done for DC. Monday, 7 o'clock. Be right here for pregame live. We're going to rinse and repeat the same energy and the same swagger and bravado from tonight. Jordan Poole, 7 made threes. 4 of the 5 Wizard starters in double figures. 3 guys with double-doubles. And I'm trying to tell you, it's just getting started. That's how you do it, Bilal. For one, for all, for the district.